Hello, my name is Nicole Vera, and I am covering the topic of gentrification because it's affecting my neighborhood that I once grew up in, which I no longer have the chance to walk in every day. And not only is it affecting my neighborhood, but it's affecting the Bay Area and the whole world itself. I grew up in the Mission. Mission is very lively, at least when I was growing up in it. You'd always smell different types of food, meet different types of faces. When I was growing up there was a lot of Latino people there. There was a lot of Filipinos. There was like an Asian population as well. When I had to move out of the Mission District, that was the prime time when gentrification was taking a hold of Mission. A lot of families were moving out. A lot of small businesses were being pushed out as well. Several bakery shops have closed down, which I had a close relationship with, to the point where they wouldn't tax me because they knew my family very well. Well, I see less of my race there. I see less of the culture there. I see more bland looking buildings, boring coffee places, and overpriced food. I feel like bringing back attention to the small businesses and giving voice to the people that work there and still barely live there should definitely be recognized.
My name is Omar Stanislao, and I am passionate about creating awareness for gentrification because it is something, a topic that it's impacting me and a lot of my friends and neighbors. People that live around me or that used to live around me have been affected by it greatly. Rent prices are going up. In my apartment, the rent is going to go up. Some people they don't have another choice but to live in their cars, or they just move out of the city, or they just go somewhere else that's cheaper. And all the hard work that they've worked for has, in a way, been destroyed. People in general are sometimes being racist. So, especially with like the events that have been happening with um, the police shootings and police brutality. I feel like I can't trust a cop when like something's happening. So I feel like we need to reconnect as a community, and we need to build from that because we are kind of falling apart, and especially with my family struggling. It is making me want to achieve or aim for something higher. And I feel like that's my duty as a young adult to look for something bigger in myself or to aim for something higher.
Hello, my name is Nicole Rivera, and I am a senior at Balboa High School.
Hello, my name is Omar Stanislao. I'm a junior at Balboa High School.
And today we're covering gentrification. And
Today we have a guest, Juana. She is a community activist. We met her at Balboa High School through our club Solidarity Organizing Project.
Great, guys. It's nice to be here today to share some of the work. So my name is Juana Tello. I'm a youth organizer at Causa Justa Just Cause, which is a multiracial organization, Black and brown organization in Oakland and San Francisco that has been actively working on issues of displacement and gentrification. And my role in the organization as a youth organizer is to support youth development and youth leadership and go out to the ethnic studies sites at different schools in SFUSD to connect issues that students are learning about through history to current issues. And one of those being gentrification. And it's to be able to give the critical thinking skills for students to be able to understand why things are happening the way they are, to understand what they see in their communities, and also to help give you guys the skills to be able to take action and change things.
Um, and that organization, the Casa Justa, is it? What are they working on to have this conversation?
Right. So we do different things. We have a component in our organization that provides services to low income tenants who are facing evictions. So wrongful evictions or have language barriers to understand the evictions. Those people come to our office to come and get, through our tenants' rights clinics, they come and get services and professional help to understand their case, to understand their rights, to understand protocols for them to be able to, at best, try to stay in their homes, right, and have a negotiation with their landlords. And that's one component. So we have services. And then we also have a campaigns component in our organization that touches a wide variety of issues. We have this campaign where we're trying to pass policy at the city hall level to be able to make sure that we make it better for all of us, right? Because I think one thing that gentrification does is that it makes people feel very isolated. Like they're alone in their struggle. Like I'm about to lose my home. I'm about to leave. I'm struggling here, right? And the role of an organization is to bring people together to be able to push for solutions. In the mission, we help push for Prop I. Proposition I was a stop to the development of luxury condominiums in the mission. So it's definitely not the solution because it doesn't build affordable housing, but for an immediate moment, it was an attempt to be able to say the city should stop building luxury housing because that's not actually what we need. We lost at the ballot in November, but it was definitely a push for us to be able to say this is from the community standpoint. We actually say no more development. Let's stop and let's preserve any open space should actually be prioritized for public good versus profit. The last thing I'll say too is that our young people have also, in the spirit of connecting gentrification and police issues, we've also been doing a lot to try to stop the expansion of the police budget because we feel like the police budget is working on $548 million a year. Last year they asked for an additional $35 million, and Omar was part of this fight, right? Last summer, we went to City Hall to be able to say we actually, as young people, don't think that the SFPD needs more money because that money could be used for housing, education, healthcare, all types of other things, right? And it was interesting because at the city level, our elected officials asked for the expansion for a police budget because he said that in the next 10 years, there's going to be an increase in population in San Francisco because of gentrification. And he's talking specifically about rich people. And he named like needing more police to accommodate their safety. So for us, we're like, that just means more police in our neighborhoods. And not for us, more to make them, richer people in our poor neighborhoods, feel safe. So like that's where a direct connection we could see. Because for our young people, I'm sure you all experience this, more and more we see more police kind of harassing young people in our neighborhoods where you don't even feel safe walking down the street.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, I would like to connect to what you said. It's really crazy how most of the cops or police officers that are coming into our communities are mostly to be therefore for the rich people or like people who seem to be new. And for me, it was just like a big change. It's been a big change because I live with like fear each day of like being stopped and asked for I don't know, like my documentation or like anything, just for them to harass me. Just I don't want to go through that because with all the police brutality that's been going on and also all the police killings, I don't want to experience that. I don't want want to be killed.
I also wanted to connect this with you were mentioning police and also how it makes a negative impact on the community in San Francisco. I know that there was a movement that is still occurring with the Frisco Five, and you were definitely involved in it. Can you tell me your input with that?
So Frisco Five are my friends. After several months of organizing. My friends decided to do a hunger strike to be able to bring national attention to the issue because we've seen that under the current Chief Sir, there is a long track record of lack of accountability for him and for the larger SFPD. And under him, there has been 14 different people murdered by SFPD, the most recent 5 in the last year and a half. And so very directly connected. And so the 5 hunger strikers have been calling for Ed Lee to fire Chief Sir, and if not, for him to resign. I think the tactic itself is very interesting because it's using to choose your body. Your body is like your leverage. You're saying, I choose not to eat. They chose not to eat for almost 17 days without food. And it brought a lot of national attention in a way that all the things that we were doing here on the ground weren't doing, right? So now we have the attention of people around the country asking what's going on in San Francisco because there is such a progressive image of San Francisco. It's not as progressive as it was or people think it was. And so the Frisco Five, I think, was an opportunity to start a conversation at a national level because people didn't really see how San Francisco connected to places like as extreme as Ferguson, right? Or other cases nationally. And I think we're just trying to say that we're in solidarity with other people, and our contribution is saying that we have the people power to take out the chief.
To end this off, how can people, especially young people,
Mm-hmm.
make a change in the community, or how can they get started? What is it that they can do,
Yeah.
or that we can do?
Great. I mean, one of the things I'm most proud about, not just something that I've worked with, but something I worked with several young people, hundreds of young people over the last years, was getting ethnic studies, right? And you may ask, what does ethnic studies have to do with gentrification, right? But ethnic studies has been a long victory of youth organizing in the Bay Area. I think the Bay Area is very unique to having a long legacy of youth leadership. Prior to 1968, but I could start there, right? 1968 student strike at SF State. Students won that, right? Students, through that platform, we helped get ethnic studies here a few years ago. Through these classes, now we're talking about some of these issues: gentrification, housing, police issues, right? Poverty, all of the things that people see. The ethnic studies classes have been a platform to be able for students to connect past issues with current issues and to also have a critical analysis of what's going on. So through the ethnic studies classes, and through this fight of people understanding themselves, I think they're more positioned to take action. And so I would say that for young people to be able to take action today, it's very much rooted in people understanding themselves. So to take that step first, to learn your history, to get involved, and the youth voice here in the Bay Area is really important because, like I said, we have the lowest population of children. So in this moment, your voice, both of your voices, is very key. I would say join organizations, get involved in your school clubs, but there's definitely a long list of things that young people are currently doing related to all the issues I outlined already, and there's a lot more that could be done. So I think that, you being a leader and you being a leader creating this media is an example of what's possible, right? When young people have the tools to learn something and then also share it. That it's not just what you know, it's what you do with the knowledge, right? How you apply that knowledge. So I think that young people should have a commitment to their education to be able to then figure out how do they use that education to come back into their communities, to get other people uplifted, and to also to give back and to fight these systems that are hurting our families.
Thank you, Juana. That was really, I love your sharing your experience with that. And is there anything else that you would like to add?
I'm gonna say I'm so proud of you guys. I probably shouldn't say that, but I'm so proud of you guys. And I would say that if anybody wants to find out more information about Causa Justa Just Cause, they could look at our website, www.cjjc.org. It's bilingual, has a lot of information and resources. And I would look forward to being able to follow up with you guys if you have any questions.
All right. And that was an interview with Juana from Nicole Rivera.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, my name is Omar Stanislao.
And see you soon.